Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely wild. The hidden, highly regulated double life your brain leads literally every single night. I mean, think about it. We spend about a third of our lives asleep, right? But for most of us, what actually goes on up there when the lights go out is just a total mystery. Well, spoiler alert, it is definitely not just a blank screen or random background noise. Your brain is actually executing this incredibly complex biological blueprint. It's shutting down certain systems, firing up entirely new ones. It's a whole production. So I am super excited to guide you through this structural marvel of the sleeping mind today. Let's get right into it.
So, what actually happens to your brain every night? We so often think of dreaming as just, I don't know, this random, fleeting magic, right? Like some strange, chaotic movie playing in our heads that we can barely even remember by breakfast. But as we're going to see today, dreaming isn't just some mystical accident. It's actually a highly structured biological process that we all experience. It's this massive, profound physiological shift in how your body operates, and it's happening entirely behind the scenes.
Okay, let's map out our nightly itinerary. First, we'll look at the nightly brain blueprint. Then, the chemical flip. Third, we'll explore active brain, passive body. Fourth, we'll talk about your built-in safety switch. And finally, why this mystery matters.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the nightly brain blueprint, understanding the biological mechanisms of sleep. To really wrap our heads around what happens when we dream, we have to establish one core premise, and that is that our waking brain and our sleeping brain operate as completely different systems. It's literally like having two entirely different operating systems installed on the exact same computer, and every single night a hard reboot takes place. These complex neurological processes transform our brains into vivid alternate realities. Seriously, take a second to think about that. Your brain isn't just resting, it is actively constructing a brand new, somewhat chaotic reality for you to hang out in while you sleep. This biological blueprint requires a massive, coordinated symphony of neurological events to pull you out of the physical world you know and drop you into a world generated entirely from within.
Let's move to Section 2, the chemical flip, turning off logic and letting chaos rule.
Now, for that wild alternate reality to actually take hold, your brain has to completely change shifts. And it does this through a pretty dramatic change in chemistry. Right now, while you're awake and listening to this, a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine is turned on. It's the thing keeping you focused and logical. You can kind of think of it as a strict office manager, just keeping everybody in line and orderly, right? But during REM sleep, norepinephrine is completely turned off. The manager literally leaves the building, and the creative, chaotic, totally uninhibited parts of your brain completely take over the narrative. So it's a literal chemical flip, right from order straight into chaos.
Which brings us to Section 3, active brain, passive body, the REM sleep paradox.
So when that chemical flip happens, you don't just passively sit back and watch a dream like a movie. No, your system fully commits to it, acting to transform our brains into vivid alternate realities. It is an incredibly immersive experience. You're seeing things, you're feeling things, and you're reacting to things as if they were actually happening right there in front of you.
And biologically speaking, sleep is anything but quiet. Your visual cortex is firing on all cylinders, meaning you are literally seeing in your sleep. Your amygdala, which is the emotional center of your brain, is highly active, producing very real feelings of fear or joy or surprise. And here's the craziest part. Parts of your brain are actually more active during REM sleep than when you are wide awake. No way, right? But it's true. You are working harder in a dark room with your eyes closed than you are when you're out navigating your waking day. It's just an absolute astonishing display of internal power.
So, how do we survive all of that? Section 4, your built-in safety switch, surviving the nightly chaos.
So think about it. If your brain is firing like crazy, if you're seeing things and feeling all these intense emotions, what exactly stops you from, just running right out your front door? Well, the answer is sleep paralysis. Now, I know sleep paralysis is often thought of as this terrifying glitch or a scary sleep disorder, but it is actually a vital, built-in safety feature of the human body. See, because your brain is completely convinced that the dream is real, it tries to send signals to your muscles to run or jump or fight. Sleep paralysis acts as this ultimate safeguard. It basically severs the connection between your hyperactive brain and your physical muscles, safely keeping you tucked in bed while your mind just goes totally wild. And finally, Section 5, why this mystery matters, demystifying the universal experience.
Unlocking these biological mysteries really explains the how behind a universal experience. I mean, every single human being on the planet goes through this process.
Grasping this blueprint just gives us such a profound appreciation for our own bodies. It takes something that honestly feels like pure nightly magic and demystifies it into this incredibly structured, fascinating science. Just knowing that your brain systematically shuts down logic, fires up emotional centers, and literally paralyzes your body just so you can safely simulate alternate realities? Man, that is just a huge testament to the incredible biological machine you get to inhabit every single day.
So I leave you with this. When your head hits the pillow tonight, what vivid, alternate reality is your biological blueprint going to build for you? Now that you know all about the chemical flips and the safety switches working behind the scenes, I really hope you find yourself a little more curious and maybe a little more eager to experience your brain's highly regulated night shift. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and sleep well.